Hi, this is Chris, and what we're looking at is a brand new landscape, about 6 months new. There's a lot of innovative things that were done here. Principally, the drip irrigation system is what's called inline emission tubing, and that is that there's a drip emitter in the tubing about every 12 to 18 inches, depending on what they picked out, and it is underneath the decomposed granite. That can cause some problems in areas where the water has a high salt content and the decomposed granite is not raked through. So we'll see what happens. But I'm coming in here after a huge winter rainstorm, so any salts will have been dispersed. But we'll check up on it this summer and see how everything is working. The decomposed granite that was put down here was a true decomposed granite, and it is called pyrite gold. Since the rain was very heavy, it's been packed down. You can see a footprint here. The interesting thing about this area that goes from these planted junipers over to the other side is that for some reason this whole open area was done with stabilized decomposed granite. I know because I inquired about the materials bidding. Okay, the decomposed granite where these plants are, it can run anywhere from $25 to $35 a ton. The decomposed granite in between these plants, considerably more, especially if it has to be hauled a long distance like this was. It practically triples the cost of the decomposed granite. And we can see it doesn't offer anything more in looks. And when it dries out, we'll come back and see if it's much, compacted and stabilized. I don't think so. I have a real problem with stabilized decomposed granite because it's promoted as a reinforced surface. What you're not told when you hear that is that it's essentially held together with the dirt version of Elmer's glue, and that when it gets wet, it dissolves down. So really, the stabilizing agent needs to be reapplied on a regular annual basis. And every heavy winter rainstorm, obviously disintegrates the stabilizer. So it's kind of a huge waste in money, and architects love to specify it because it makes them look important and knowledgeable. But all it does is really soak you for a lot of money. And landscape yards love to sell it to you because it's a huge value-added item. Doesn't really do much for you in almost all circumstances. But this is pyrite gold. Pyrite gold's nice because it's a good brown decomposed granite. It's not a crushed stone fine, so it doesn't wind up gumming to your shoes when it's wet. And it settles down really well. It doesn't blow around when it's very dry. So we'll come back and check up on this when it dries out